Late nights, I have heavy voices in my head. City lights blind my brain, I spy instinct. I've been dancing with my shadow, sipping on a grape. Every promise that I made, I ain't fixed it yet. I'm fragile, but I move like I'm bulletproof. Broken prayers in my chest and I'm telling too. I was lost in the rhythm of a lonely road. Till your love by my soul, now I'm coming home. And the world gets colder, I feel fire, but my feet are shaking, you lift me. Da 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 da. Da 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 da. Da 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 da. Yeah. Da 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 da. Da 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 da. Late nights, I have heavy voices in my head. City lights blind my brain, I spy instinct. I've been dancing with my shadow, sipping on a grape. Every promise that I made, I ain't fixed it yet. I'm fragile, but I move like I'm bulletproof. Broken prayers in my chest and I'm telling too. I was lost in the rhythm of a lonely road. Till your love by my soul, now I'm coming home. And the world gets colder, I feel fire, but my feet.
This program is sponsored by www.rejecomandala.com. Looking for a way to earn extra income from home? This might be exactly what you've been waiting for. Simply click on the link, follow the prompting, watch the webinar, add your email address, and let's do this together. Your future self will definitely thank you. Digital business. Take a step and change your life.
Hello, ladies. Hello, everyone across the world. It is a good morning from me here, Bridget, in the UK. It is a beautiful, sunny day, and wow, it's good to be here. Right. So, welcome to the third, and correct me if I'm wrong, ladies, it's the third episode of our podcast that talks about everything relating to culture, cultural assimilation, and cultural integration. So, is that right, Rebecca? Third, number three?
Fourth.
Number four. Okay.
Yeah.
Number 4. Whoa, downgraded us. We're on number 4. So we're doing well. Wow. Awesome.
Yeah.
And as I said, our topic today is the belonging paradox, finding your place without losing your identity. And as keen as I am to get into it, ladies, we are going to have to introduce ourselves. So my name is Bridget. I am based here in the UK. I am a mom of one, beautiful, lovely young person. And I am also a therapist and a coach. I run my own practice, supporting people with mental health problems, and also coaching, which is mainly directed at parents. But that's me in a nutshell. I'm now going to invite you guys to introduce yourselves. So here are the ladies that I'm doing this podcast with. Number 1, Rejeko, please introduce yourself.
Thank you. Good evening and good morning, guys. Welcome to the 4th series of our series in culture, assimilation, and integration. My name is Rujeko. I originally come from Zimbabwe. I am a mom of 2. I am a registered nurse by profession, and I do specialize in mental health. And yes, I am a very, very passionate digital business entrepreneur. Thank you.
Thank you,
Back to you.
Rejeko. Wonderful to see you today and great to have you here. And Sandra, please introduce yourself.
Hello. How should I say? Hello, world, or good morning or good afternoon, depending where you are. But I am based in the UK, so for me, I would say good morning, all. My name is Sandra Francisco. I am a social worker, practice educator, and the creator of direct work tools. I am a mother of 4 children. What should I say? Adult children. I have one granddaughter, and the second one is on his way or her way. I don't know. But I would love if my son would tell me that will be twins. So,
My
yeah,
goodness.
we're just waiting to find out. But yeah,
Wow.
I am a proud grandmother. That's
Oh,
me.
that's beautiful.
Wow.
Beautiful,
As
Sandra.
young as you look. Goodness.
Congratulations.
Thank
Yes,
you.
And you're excited
congratulations.
about expanding. You actually want twins. You want more
I
expansion.
am. I would love for them to say that we're going to have twins. It's just like it's bringing the new vibe in the house, just to find out that we're going to have a new addition to the family. I can't explain the words. It's
Mm,
just like it's a feeling that you need to go through it. You can't explain.
mm. I hear you there. So I love that word,
Wow.
a new vibe. A new
Yes.
vibe. I like it. I like, and
Yeah.
I think we will be touching today on a new vibe in relation to our topic. I'm very eager to get in there. So, ladies, let's go. Let's do this. So, the topic is the belonging paradox: finding your place without losing your identity. And I'm sure in there,
Can I interject before
yes,
we go in there?
yes, yes,
We've got something special for the audience in
yes.
connection to the program that we did last week. I
Okay,
think you ladies have devised something special for the audience. I don't know if you'd like to talk about that first.
Yeah. So
okay.
I don't mind to explain. So
Ooh,
following the last podcast or the last session, um, some people reached out to me and they wanted to ask more questions. They wanted to know if there was opportunity to expand on the topic that we discussed last time, which was the cultural assimilation, integration, and identity. So based on the people asking questions and wanting more, um, I developed a workbook, which is going to come out very soon. So
hmm.
yeah, it's just
Woo, woo, woo.
this will be a workbook
Awesome.
to support parents. It's a tool that
Mm,
Mm,
I'll put some ideas together and that just to introduce the knowledge that parents raising children across culture can benefit from. Um, the aim is to empower parents to navigate the experience successfully. So the workbook is about individuals' unique parenting journey.
mhm,
In the workbook, we will find scenarios, activities, and suggestions to spend quality time with your children and enjoy your family. So
mm.
we'll be things about the law in the UK, encouraging parents to find out about the law in the country that they are residing. So it's all about encouraging parenting, but it's an introduction. Yeah,
wonderful. That's
That is
beautiful.
fantastic. I was
Mm,
saying to you last time when I was talking to you that it would be so nice just to walk into a library, especially when you are an immigrant, and to find that book just available on the shelves. I think it's definitely something that a gap that we are missing. So many of us would really, really love insights on this culture, assimilation, and integration, and just to have a reference,
mm,
just to have something that you fall back on,
mm,
especially to the new mummies as well, such as your granddaughter. I think it's such an asset. So yeah, yeah,
yeah.
So
yeah.
watch
Well,
out for the
mhm,
dates. I don't know
mhm,
exactly when it's going to be released, but very soon.
mhm,
And
Wow.
we will have it like a electronical and
mm,
a hard copy. And the beauty of it, it will have two uh, covers, and then you as a person, you will choose which cover you identify more with you. So
Oh,
once you're
okay,
going to
that's
buy it,
interesting.
yeah.
Is that like a color like white and black, or sorry to go there, but
No, there is no white and black. We are talking
okay.
about identity, belonging.
Yeah.
So, what do you identify yourself more with? So, you have two covers, and you choose which one you identify
Oh,
more
okay.
with. So, the context will be the same, but it's just the cover that it's different.
Right.
Mm.
Okay. Okay.
That's unique, isn't it? That you get to choose
Mm,
the cover
mm,
of your book. That's really
We are
interesting.
talking about, yeah, we're talking about identity,
Yeah.
belonging. We're
Mm.
talking about being unique. So I was like, okay, let's just make something different, and it's important to give people choices.
mm.
Beautiful.
And ladies, you said you guys are going to be running it in conjunction with the program there in the UK. Uh,
Yes. Absolutely. But first of all, congratulations, Sandra, on meeting that need and helping to, as Ujeko said, close that gap. So by supplying that information, knowledge, insight to parents who need that along the way. So that's brilliant. Yes, Rijeko, you're right. We are collaborating to and have created a program that runs alongside the workbook that Sandra and I will be delivering. And the idea of this program is to really facilitate. It's very easy to get a book and read it, but sometimes some of us are hands on learners or practical learners. So we need someone to help us translate the knowledge into practical application. So that's part of what we'll be doing, is helping to support parents in that process of, just applying that knowledge. How can you apply it in your own parenting? How will this benefit you to help make your journey more fruitful, more, as Sandra said, what was the word you used, Sandra? Not effective, but safer, or more effective, should I say. So that's the idea. So we've got an introductory session that will be running on the 7th of August in the evening to facilitate as many parents coming and attending. So it's be a 7 o'clock UK time. Um, and it will be delivered virtually, so as many people can attend. So whether you're on your phone, on your laptop, it'll be easy for you to access. It'll be on Teams. And we are putting it out to the public today because we've got an introductory fee that we will be charging for this introductory session. And the idea really is to give the opportunity to as many parents as possible to attend. There will be a £9.99 fee for that session. We normally will charge for our sessions, but that one is introductory, so it's a low fee. So yeah, please contact us. We've got our information there. For me, it'll be at contact@breezehighflyers.co. And Sandra, where can people contact you?
Okay, for me, people can contact me on www.sfconnect.com, and then there will be an email there which they can follow on that.
Beautiful.
Or, but on Facebook as well, they can leave messages there. But I believe that's very important to let the people know that it's going to be two disciplines that are going to be from a social work perspective, from a therapist perspective. How can we look into concerns that you have, or some of the questions that they are burning, and you really want to know which way you're going to? That will be a time, for us to support you to find a better way to do things
mm,
correctly.
Brilliant.
mm. Wow. And so can people access this from anywhere in the world, or is this specifically just for United Kingdom?
We are encouraging people for anywhere in the world, and I think that will
Mm-hmm.
be very good to have like diversity, because
Mm,
experiences of experiencing parenting in different sides of the world and being together in one platform and discussing it, I think that will be very rich.
mm,
I
mm,
like
We
the
all
word.
can learn, yeah, we all can learn from each other. I would say that parenting, you learn every day. You can never stop parenting your child, even though the child is an adult. An
mm,
adult child,
mm,
you are always learning, and we learn from each other.
mm, mm.
Okay.
Wow. Well done, guys. Absolutely well done. What time is it on the 7th of August?
7 p.m.
7
Uh,
p.m.
you're not just correct, Rebecca. It's not on the 7th, it's on the 6th of
Six.
August at 7 p.m.
Yeah.
Oh, 6th of
Thank you.
August.
6th of
Yes.
August. Yeah.
Okay. So
Thank
is
you.
that a
Remember the
weekday
sixth.
or is that
Thursday. Thursday the 6th, I think it is.
Oh,
Mm,
okay. Let's
mm.
have a look there. Thursday. Okay, that's a bit difficult for some of us who'll be at work, but I wish you the best. And yeah, I hope that you will have people listening in, pouring in from all corners of the world. And I hope that, it will be a successful program for you guys. Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you very much,
Yeah.
Rijeko.
Mm.
Beautiful. Thank you, Sandra. And yes, thank you for that correction. It is Thursday, the 6th of July. August, sorry, at 7 p.m. So we look forward to seeing you there. And as I said, you can contact us via our emails or on the website. My website, if you go to this one that's shown here, you can book a session or contact me on there. So look forward to connecting with parents who are ready to share a rich experience, as Sandra said. Lots of learning from other parents, and even learning from your own experiences. So we look forward to seeing you there. Okay, ladies, let's go into today's topic. And today's topic is unique because we don't have a case study, but we are the case studies today, because we've all experienced being immigrants here. And I'm originally from Zimbabwe and moved to the UK when I was exactly 21. And Rijeko, as Rijeko's already said, she's also from Zimbabwe and has moved to Australia. And Sandra, originally from Portugal and moved to
Yes,
the UK.
the UK. Yeah.
So we all have that common experience of being an immigrant. So the question is, how, ladies, or how have you found your place without losing your identity? Or have you found your place without losing your identity?
Mm.
I'll kick us off, if that's okay, unless someone is burning to go. Rijeko and
No,
Sandra.
it's okay. You can start.
Okay. All right. In my case, coming to the UK, the thing that I've learned the most or taken the most from my journey in the UK is accepting difference. Really learning to embrace and accept difference. I came from a culture um, that had previously experienced apartheid. So when I was in 1981, so I must have been 6 or 7, that's when the Civil War ended. 80 or 81, correct me, Rijeko, if you remember well, one of those years. But, a part of my upbringing was in a culture or in a country where had been the war-torn country that had been experiencing apartheid. That means racial segregation. So early learning was, experiencing that firsthand. And it did impact my life, I cannot lie. Um, so it took, obviously, for the nation of Zimbabwe, a lot of us had to go through the process after independence. We're going through the process of undoing learning, undoing those experiences, learning to see ourselves as equal to other races. So at 21, I finally came to the UK, and I experienced, again, because I'm a minority now in this country, whereas in my country, I was a majority. So in this country, I came as a minority, as a Black person here, a Black woman. But not just my color, I also have other differences that I've brought into it. So navigating difference has been the biggest thing for me. And in that, learning to embrace my difference, to appreciate, and not to play small, to make other people feel safe because I'm different. It's the learning to understand that there will be people who will be challenged or troubled by my color, the difference in my color, difference in me being a female, uh, me being and again another difference, a single parent. in the culture that I grew up in, that was a culture that did have a stigma. But in this country, it's something that I've learned to embrace. And across the world, I mean, I no longer live in Zimbabwe, and I know that it's something that's well accepted now. But yeah, those transitions in culture. I've also seen some, progression in the UK culture in my time here. But like I say, the biggest learning for me has been me learning to accept my difference, and making sure that wherever I go, wherever I am, I don't cower away or hide or feel inferior because of my difference. The UK is a very integrated culture. It's a very mixed culture. It's a very rich culture. With many differences, but there are people who still struggle with the issue of other people being different, and I think you'll come across that in any country, in any nation. So it is really been a journey of growth, a journey of self-love, a journey of expansion, being able to not only accept mine, but also learn about other cultures. I have been so privileged and so grateful to be in this country because this is where I have encountered many different nationalities, many different races, colors, creeds, you name it, tribes, from across the world, Asia and the Middle East, South America, the Caribbean, even North America, Europe, Russia, you name it. I have met. I think probably if I'm count. I have never looked at it really to think which nation have I not met in the UK. That I've met so many.
Mm.
So it's such a privilege, and it's taught me as well to learn how to accept difference, appreciate difference, and celebrate. I think celebrate is something that uh, is ongoing, but accepting definitely. So that's my journey, ladies.
Mm,
So I'm keen to hear
Mm.
from you. Shall we start
mm,
with you, Rebecca?
mhm.
What's your journey and what's
Um,
mm,
Before I go there, I think for me, I want to start from the place of defining what is a paradox really.
okay?
I think that's what makes it more interesting. So when I looked it up, when I looked at paradox,
Mm,
paradox obviously it can be a statement, it can be a person, but in this situation, let's say a situation
mm,
where it just seems to go against common sense, right? So that's a paradox.
mhm,
And I think that's exactly what happens when you find yourself in a foreign nation. Okay. Um, so in this instance, we're talking about the belonging paradox, right? So what is this belonging? So for me, I'm feeling this deeply. I love this topic. So what is this belonging paradox? And I think to some extent, it's the tension that we feel to actually belong. As simple as that, you know. Because we all want to be accepted, we all want to be loved, and by all means, we all want to be included. And I think those are points that hit, especially when you're at work, when you're in the community. Are you included?
mm,
Are you celebrated? Are you really genuinely loved? Right. Um, and at the same time, if you lack these elements, there's that's where the tension comes from, because you now s- try to um, change your identity because you want to belong, you want to be loved, you want to be included. But who is you? Who is your original identity is the question. So your original identity is the person who you are in God for some of us. So if we are talking about me, right, the example that you said we put um, ourselves in, my original identity is to stay true in who I am, in God, my values, and my voice. That's my identity, right? But because I'm in a foreign nation, there comes the struggle, or there comes the paradox of belonging with my original identity, right? Um, so you are plunged into a society. I'll give a very good example when it comes to simple things like holidays, for example. We no longer have, it's politically incorrect in some nations. I don't want to specify, for us to say Happy Easter. When was the last time you heard somebody saying, "Oh, what holiday is this?" It's Easter. It's politically wrong to say. It's wrong. You have to say it's a bank holiday, or you just have to say happy holidays, because then you're being politically correct and you are accommodating everybody. So it then becomes very, very difficult even to maneuver yourself in your original place of identity, even in your professionalism. I'll give you example. As a nurse, I have to be very careful what I'm saying to my clients, to my patient, because I have to be politically correct.
Mm.
Words like amen, thank you, Jesus, open the Bible. It's my identity, but in that society, I am not being professional. So I stand to lose my job. I stand to lose, if it's a business, I stand to lose my contract. I always have to be walking on eggshells. I have to be politically correct to keep my contract, politically correct to keep my job. So you can imagine, when you've gone through that for years, eventually you will lose layers of your original identity. And that's the paradox for me. That's the paradox. And I must say that in most instances, you find yourself in a place where, because you want to be accepted, you actually start running on empty. So I need to be accepted, but I don't need to show my original identity of who I am in Christ. So I am walking on empty because I am not fully fleshed in my own identity. That's a paradox, right? Um, you're in a place where you're being authentic. I'm smiling, I'm professional, I'm rising in my career. But at the end of the day, I feel lonely. I feel lonely because in trying to be this authentic person in this society, I am losing a fragrance of my original identity, right? So again, that's a paradox, right? And so you're in this constant cycle where you question yourself, you question you don't even know what your values are anymore. You really don't. And I don't know whether I should go where I want to go, Bridget, but I'm going to try. I'm going to try and go there.
Okay.
I think a lot of us, I think it's an issue that we are finding in diaspora, because you know um you find that even in relationships, we have a lot of reports where, in terms of relationships, um, it ends up being an unfortunate instance where we are now investigating crime scenes. But when we look at the victim, right, in that sort of relationship, right, we look at the history of that person. They had values, they were very well mannered, well cultured, well learned. But so, how did they end up in this unfortunate instance of a scenario where they're in a relationship and it's a crime scene already? So, is this where they are actually running on empty? Like, there are so many questions. I know obviously, in such instances, there are many dynamics to what brings us to such a situation. But definitely, when it comes to that belonging paradox, for me, it's a contributing element,
Mm.
and it goes to show how serious it is when we are talking about this topic of the belonging paradox. So, sorry, you want to say something,
Oh
Bridget?
no, no, because you've said a lot, and I want to make
Yeah.
sure that we are walking with you and what you said.
Yeah.
Beautifully put. So you've expanded what we were talking about because you're still covering how we are different. But
Mm,
this time it's the paradox. It's really going deeper into what that paradox looks like. And I
mm,
love the fact that you've mentioned your your values, your voice, and
mm,
identity. You
mm,
coming now. The reason why I stopped you is because now
mhm,
we're coming on to a very current, hot topic, which is this
mm,
whole idea of when we are, and we've seen a rise in that,
yeah.
of relationships that end up destructive and end up where one of the members of that couple is
Mm,
then uh, killed by the other.
mm.
So we want to be very explicit about what we're talking about.
I know it's a bit
I understand.
on
I
social
understand,
media,
but we're
Yeah,
walking with the audience, so we need to take them with
yeah,
us. Otherwise, it's
that's
just
right.
us who
Yeah,
understand.
So
So that's
well,
what
yeah.
Rebecca was
yeah.
touching on, is that we've had a
Mm,
number of incidents and events where people in the diaspora, couples in
mm,
the diaspora, have ended up uh, being criminal. Having a criminal incident where
mm,
one of the members is deceased at the hands of the other, and that's
mm,
what you're touching on. And
mm.
please go ahead, Rejeko. Take us there.
Like, so that's exactly what I'm saying. So we end up with this radicalism
Mm,
where there are two extremes. So, like I say, there's one extreme where, because you're losing a fragrance of your identity, so you're in that place where you're being authentic in that society, you're doing everything right, but in your heart, you are a lonely somebody. Okay.
mm,
Or then, or on the other hand, you are doing everything right to be accepted, but you are running on empty.
mhm,
And this running on empty has many elements. It will touch in your mindset, in your your mental state, and like we're saying, uh because you're losing a whole big part of yourself, you don't even know how to express yourself better anymore. And I think that's another topic we'll discuss on another day, because I
mm,
know we are going to be talking about therapy, in our culture. That's just a
mm,
whole different topic, but
mm,
it brings it in there.
mm.
It's needed in this
Yeah,
belonging paradox.
yeah, yeah.
So yeah, I think I will leave it
Beautiful.
at there for
Yeah,
now.
beautiful, Rejeko.
Yeah,
Those are key
yeah.
things that you mentioned, because in you being
Mm,
different, and the difference is your values are different, your
mm,
vision of how you see yourself, your identity is different, um,
mm,
and how you express yourself, whether that's voice, that's you're different in all those areas. And so when we neglect, or when we suppress, or when we leave
mm,
out ourselves, we
mm,
end up in this place, as you're saying. Is it that
mm.
we're ending up in this place of emptiness, where we no longer have me? I no
Mm,
longer have me.
mm,
And if I no longer have
mm,
me, but I have a lot of what your culture has given me, yes, I have a nice
mm,
house, I have a nice
mm,
car, yes, I have
mm,
money, yes, I have all those
mm,
things that look like
mm,
I am being authentic, that look
mm,
that I am, I'm living the dream, but actually
mm,
I'm absent.
I'm absent. I'm not there.
I'm not there.
And of course, there are dynamics that come into play with that
Yes,
scenario.
yeah.
But on this particular topic will
Mm.
concentrate on that belonging.
Yeah.
Belonging.
Yeah. So
Mm.
can you belong without you being there? Because you, as you said, you
Mm,
fulfilled all
mhm,
the culture that you are assimilated into. You have
mm,
fulfilled the criteria. You have a job, you have a car, you have a
mm,
house, you've made money,
mm,
you're running, you are
mm,
Mhm.
you are running,
mm,
you are functioning on a level,
mm,
but
mm, mm,
you
mm,
are not
mm,
you are not expressed through this life.
mm, mm, mm,
The essence of who you are is not expressed. Your values,
mm,
your true
mm,
values in that money, in that.
mm,
So now we get to the
mm,
point where you are in relationships, and because you have to express you in a relationship,
mm,
because you're empty, the only thing
mm,
that a human being can express when they're empty is negativity. There's nothing else you can.
mm,
When you're
mm.
empty, there's
Because you've
negativity.
got nothing to give.
There's
Yeah.
nothing.
Mm.
You will hit negativity. That's when you hit fear,
Mm,
anxiety, all those things that you mentioned. Mentioned mental health, and we will touch that
mm,
on that day.
mm,
But it's important that people recognize that
mm,
those things don't happen by chance. There is a
mm.
process that's happening. This
It's
process
a
of
butterfly effect. Yeah.
Thank you. This
Mm.
process of
Mm,
losing yourself to
mm,
embrace
mm,
somebody else's way of living, somebody else's culture, someone else's vision, values,
mm, mm,
and someone else's voice, and
mm,
losing yours. There is a price to
mm,
pay. And so,
mm,
Rijeko, you've been highlighting the price. So
mm,
thank you. That
mm,
yes, there is a price to a cost to
mm,
us to when we assimilate. There is a cost.
mm,
So thank you so much, Rijeko, for that. That's
mm,
beautiful. Really, really beautiful.
mm,
So
mm,
Sandra,
mhm,
let's hear
All
your take on this
right.
paradox.
For me, I look at the paradox in a completely different way.
Hmm.
mhm,
And the reason being, I was born and raised in Portugal. So growing up for me, I would never look around and think about, oh, because I am a minority, because I am the majority. I just blend with the culture. So I grew up just, without asking those questions. Until the age 21, when I arrived in the UK, I never really paid attention that I, I am a black woman with an accent because I can speak and write the fluent Portuguese. Like I said, I
Sandra,
grew
can
up.
I just sorry, can to interject? Can I just pause a minute and just
Yeah, yeah,
acknowledge a viewer? Thank you so much, Noreen, for joining us.
yes. Hi, Noreen. Love
Yeah,
you.
thank you so much. We welcome you.
Yeah.
We thank you for the audience that's joining us, whether now or later. Thank you so much
Yeah.
for your contribution to this event. Please carry on, Sandra, and my apologies for that.
yeah. That's fine. Yeah, so it's like until I arrived in the UK and I started to pay attention to little differences. And I would say more even when I started to work in the care industry. So looking at the paradox was never something that I would think about it. It was like
No, none of
maybe
us did.
yeah, maybe
Yeah.
yeah. It's like maybe I would be exposed to it. I would be exposed to differences, but it was part of my just assuming. Like I normalized the behavior, so I wouldn't
Mm,
stop and think, why is this person behaving in that way? Why was I treated in that way? So it was kind of like it's just natural. It's my norm. This is how I've been seeing things from birth up until that stage.
mm,
Um, Working in the care industry, it really opens up your eye into different things. You look into different, I would say, different laws. You look into different scenarios, and that make you question and reflect in yourself. Like, if that person is facing all of that, what about me? So you learn how to place yourself and compare. So the word paradox will be and looking at the difference, I would look at the self esteem, at your own confidence as a person. Because if you are a confident person, you know your values, you know what you got from your parents, you know how you should present yourself in different environments. I wouldn't think that the paradox will impact much on you Because by the end of the day, I believe that whatever place or whatever environment that we are going to, we are always performing. We are always wearing different hats. Even though that we want to belong, we want to be loved, we want to be accepted, but you need to conform to the environment where you are. For example, if when you are in your workplace, you might want to take the food that you cooked and it's something that is part of you, is part of your culture. But I wouldn't dare to take fish to work because I might have colleagues that they'll just look at me like, oh, the office is stinking or something like that. They will. It's like people will look at you, they will smile, but you know deep down it's something that is not accepted. So everyone will tell you that we are accepting, we are looking at differences, but those differences they're still there. Even the way that you present yourself, the way that you talk. Like I am a black woman. I'm very much aware of my accent. So I'm very much aware. Like if I need to do something, I need to do it 10 times better or 10 times harder in order to be accepted. But it's about me feeling confident, having the self esteem. How am I going to present myself? Am I going to leave those differences, to impact on myself? Or how am I going to look into those differences and navigate in a way that I'm going to feel good about it?
Mm.
That's how
Okay.
I see the paradox.
Mm. Mm.
I,
So, just a question for you, Sandra, just so I clarify. Uh, my understanding for you, this experience, or the for you, you didn't have an issue with paradox growing up in, in Portugal and coming here.
Mm.
So it wasn't for what that's what I'm hearing. But at the same time, I'm hearing that they. I'm questioning. I want to get clarity. Are you saying then that in England, you coming to England, there was a level of that in because it challenged you to build confidence, or help me understand?
yeah, that's right. Because, like I said, growing up in Portugal, I grew up between the white and the black culture. So
Yeah.
I would see people like me that like their parents are from Africa and they came to Portugal because the country was colonized by Portuguese people. So
Mm,
that was my norm. That was natural. So I would say my parents they are from São Tomé and Prince, but I would see. I went to school with children that their parents were from Guinea, were from Mozambique or Cape Verde. Yeah, so it's like we all speak Portuguese, but our parents they were from different parts of Africa, but they were colonized by Portuguese people. So it's kind of like
Bingo,
growing up.
bingo, bingo. That's why. That's
Yeah,
why. I think we got the answer there, Bridget.
go on, explain, Richard. Tell us what you're seeing.
Look, from what I'm listening, I'm listening to Sandra. It's
Mm,
because you all were Africans,
yes,
so there's a difference there, and you grew up in that, and it's beautiful.
mm,
It is.
mm,
It's like us when we were in Zimbabwe. There was no paradox issue because we were all Zimbabweans. I suppose the paradox would come in the in the element where we have different clans. So
mm,
we have the Shona and then we have the Ndebele, and
mm,
I think in my country, it's a big thing.
mm,
When we are out here in diaspora, we are one.
mm,
Like for me, when I see a Zimbabwean, it doesn't matter if they're Ndebele or Shona. It's like, oh my God, she's from Zimbabwe, you
yeah.
know but when you're in Zimbabwe, it's like I think the dominant the clan that was more dominant was the Shona because of
Mm,
our leader,
mm.
and so there was a lot of elements of yeah,
you
belonging
know,
there.
you
Mm-hmm.
know, I do understand that you are saying
Yeah.
because
Mm,
even for us, like all our parents, they were from Africa. They were
mm,
like, we wouldn't eat the same food, we wouldn't behave in the same way, we wouldn't
mm,
listen to the same music.
mm,
It's like the behavior. There's little things that you'll be looking at them and you'll be like, oh, you are from Angola, you are from Cape Verde, you are from Mozambique,
Legit.
but
Mm.
we all grew up and we
Yeah.
understand, we have a good understand between each other. Like if you're
Mm.
going to, let's say, a nightclub, you will hear music from these five countries, and we will celebrate. So it's not like a up until I arrived in the UK that you see that clear division. Like you look around and you'll be like, oh wow,
Yeah.
so much races, so much ethnicity, so much culture, so much for you to celebrate. And then you
Mm.
start to reflect on yourself like, oh, where do I belong?
Mm.
How am I going to pass on my own values? Because I've got all of these from my parents, but now that I am in a different country, I'm exposed to all these values.
Mm.
What am I going to pick up for myself? What am I going to pass on to my children, to my grandchildren? So it's like a mixture because it's like I didn't even. I have friends from all over the world, so it's like people will say, Sandra, there's a wedding. I'll just go and I'll ask them, what should I wear? And I'll go and I'll experiment a different foods. I'll experiment a different environment, a different everything. So it's kind of like you learn how to integrate, you learn how to blend. But
Mm.
again, who are you when you go to those parties, you are present in this environment? What are you bringing? How do you present yourself? I mean, that's
That's
the
where we are
question.
all that's where some of us do it very well.
Yes.
We don't have an issue, and like think like what you said, Sandra.
Mm.
Sometimes the confidence is just there,
Yeah.
you know. But there are some who really now struggle to
Mm.
blend.
Mm.
They really struggle. There's a
Yeah.
saying in where I grew up. What's happening is I don't know
Mm.
how to say this in the most polite way, but like how they say you can come out of the ghetto, but you cannot bring the ghetto out of that person.
Yeah.
So the
Mm.
ghetto-ness in that person is finding it very difficult to blend in an
Mm.
English culture.
Yeah.
It's hard.
But don't you
Yeah.
think? But don't you think that is to do as well with your upbringing? Is to do with the
Yes, that's what I mean. That's
Yes.
what I
community,
mean.
like
Yes.
Yeah, that's
things
what
that
I
you are
mean.
presented. Yeah, things that
I,
you
Yeah.
are presented with. Like you are growing up, you are hear
mm.
people telling you you're not supposed to do this. You need
Yeah.
to behave in this way. You don't hurt people when you are talking. This is at a certain words that you need to say. You need to,
Mm.
have certain posture. So like
Mm.
while you are growing up, that will be instilled in you. And it's very, very difficult to you as an adult because throughout your life, that's the message that was passed on to you. So
Mm.
Let's
when you
let's not forget, the ghetto person identifies as a ghetto.
Mm. That's their
but
identity.
you can but you
That's
can
that's
be
their
but you can,
identity.
yeah, but you can be a ghetto person, yeah.
Mhm.
Dress up, yeah. And remember what I said, you have different hats. Like the way that you can be a ghetto person, but the way you're going to behave, the way that you're going to present yourself when you are in the city, the way you're going to laugh, you're not going to laugh with your body on everything.
So
So
that's
you
where
look
we are
around.
saying that exactly. That's where we are saying for some people, they
Mm,
yes, they will learn to be politically correct and
Mm.
be authentic in that manner and
Mm.
understand that, they are around, this culture where when you laugh, you have to hold a certain stature, and when you say bye, you have to do it in a certain way, and when you laugh, it has to be but are they being true to themselves? And this is where the struggle is.
Mm.
Are they really being
but
true to who they are inside? And
Yes.
I
like
think
I
it's
said,
fair
yeah.
to put it
Mm,
on both worlds. So
Yes.
there are some of us who identify as Christians, which is good. There are some who identify in their own religion, and there are some who identify themselves in this way where that's how they grew up. They laugh and their arms are flying everywhere, their legs is up. That's just
Mm.
how they grew
Mm.
up. To them, it's
Mm.
well,
very normal.
Rebecca, the way I see it, it's like whatever place you are going, regardless if you're coming from the ghetto, if you're coming from the city or from the village, you need to learn your posture. You need to learn your manners
And I'm
because
not
if,
refusing. I'm saying I'm agreeing with you.
yeah,
I
that because
100% agree.
you're not going to be the same person that you
Mm,
are with your friends, because
Mm.
with your friends you need to be yourself. You're not thinking about performing. But if you are at your workplace, depending on the position that you hold,
mm.
you need to behave in a certain way. There are procedures that you need to follow, so you
That's what
have to
I
act
agree.
in.
100%. I
But
agree
it
with
that
you, Sandra.
yeah, but that does
Mm.
not mean that you are not true to yourself, because when you go into your workplace, you're carrying your values with you. Although that you need to follow all the guidances and policies that are in practice, you know yourself as a Rojeko. How am I going to present myself?
Yeah. You both, I love it. You're both really saying the same thing. What
Mm,
Rijiko is emphasizing, Sandra, it's because you have an advantage.
mhm,
You grew up in an environment where
mhm,
there was a lot of difference, and you
mm.
started learning
Yeah,
Mm,
very early on. It's a skill to
it is.
adapt. It's
Amen.
mm,
also
Yes.
a value, but it's also
Mm,
a skill. We
mm,
have this saying back home, we used to call some people hard this one, you hard
oh, yeah.
mashona or hard,
Masha.
you know what I
Yeah.
mean? Is those
Yeah.
people are so
Yeah.
rigid in
In
their,
their ways.
in their way
Yeah.
and in that identity that I am this and that's
Mm,
it,
mm,
you know.
mm,
And so in our country, obviously, for me, I suppose the added advantage was I already had parents who came from different cultures and
mm,
different tribes.
mhm.
So there were already a lot of mixture in my family. So I had to learn to deal with difference early on, but
Mm.
not as much as when I came here.
To the UK,
There was
exactly.
that
All
was
of
an
us.
explosion of difference.
Radical. It's like,
It's like, ah,
whoa.
and
What?
so you are at an, and this is why, even
mm,
if you look at our topic, I started with difference. That's the key, how you handle difference. So
Mm,
learning to, so you've had the process. For you, leaving your Portugal, you had already a level of this skill and
mm.
expertise and knowledge of how to to
Integrate.
navigate difference.
yeah,
Yeah,
because
and
I
integrate well,
normalized
safely.
everything I normalized everything around me, even though that I was different
Yeah,
comparing to a majority
yeah,
that was white people. But I normalized because this is my everyday day.
absolutely.
So I would wake up, go to school or go to work, and I'll see white people, I'll see mixed race people, and then they had the similar background as me. So for me, it was normal. But
Yeah.
when I
Mm,
look now at my own children, it just made me even question more. Even my granddaughter, even question a lot more, because it's like I'm from Portugal, my son is from Portugal, the mom is from Colombia, and my granddaughter was born in here. So it's kind of like she is exposed to different languages, different values. So it's like, what is going to be next for her?
Mm. Beautiful. So we're now drawing to an end, and
thank you.
this is beautiful
Yeah.
because we've touched on difference and we've looked at what are the important things to consider in difference. It's the
Mhm,
identity that you have, the vision of how you see yourself, your values, and your voice. Voice
Mm,
is part of your self-expression. So,
mhm.
and you've talked, Sandra, about what is it that helps to to make this process of making sure that you come into something that's new, but retain what's
Your
important.
identity.
We
Mm,
I'll
understand
say,
that
mm,
some things
be
will change.
yourself. Mm,
Say that again.
just be yourself.
And that's what
Just
I'm.
keep in mind what
Yeah.
your roots.
Yes.
Don't try to change what your parents passed on to you,
Okay.
because
Mm.
sometimes people just want to erase what
Mm.
the values that they bring from back home, from
Mm.
where they're coming from. Just keep that. And from that, just how are we going to build on that to become a better version of yourself?
Brilliant.
mm.
And that's exactly what I was
True.
coming to. That's exactly what I was, absolutely.
Mm,
That's
mm,
beautiful. That's exactly what I was coming to. That it is about, but we have to be honest as well, Sandra. It's not
Yeah.
everything that we took from where we came from that we want to keep.
Yeah,
We have
that's
that
right.
choice because there may be
Mm,
some people who came from an abusive background and
yeah.
Of course.
unhealthy. So we
Yeah.
have the right to choose what values, what is
Mm.
it that I'm bringing from where I came from that I want to retain and build on. Absolutely.
We
And in
call
this
it growth. We call it growth.
Yes.
transformation, whatever you want to,
Yeah,
but it's a
mm,
positive moving forward. You're not losing
that's right.
yourself. You are
Mm,
Mm.
choosing yourself. You are
mhm,
choosing who you say you are, because even in then, when you were growing up, there was a little bit of choice, but now you have more
mm,
choice because you're
mm,
grown, you're mature, you can choose your identity. You
mhm,
have a right to
mm,
choose it. So you have a
mhm,
right to choose your values. You have a right
mm,
to choose how you express yourself, and
mm,
hopefully that's healthy, that's fruitful, that's productive, that allows you
mm.
to live this life in freedom as you.
Mhm.
And lawful.
Yeah.
Hey, that's freedom. If you're lawful,
Amen.
you're free.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
Yeah. So without
Just be
so it,
yourself. Yeah.
so absolutely, the key thing that you've mentioned, the key word that I hear is adaptability.
Mm,
Learning how to
Mm.
adapt, which means dropping what you want to drop that's not serving you, not dropping it because it doesn't make me fit in. No, you get to choose what
mm,
values, understanding what's important here, values, your identity, and your self expression, your
mm,
voice. Those
mm.
are the key things.
Mm.
Whatever
Yes.
culture you go into, whatever nation, whatever status you have,
Mm,
if that stuff is affected, you are affected.
mm. Let's call
That,
them the non-negotiables.
thank you, Richeko.
Come on now.
Non-negotiables.
Yes, now.
Your vision of yourself, your
Yeah.
values, and your
Yeah.
voice. That's your
Come on
self-expression.
now.
Yeah.
Mm,
Yeah, but you are
mm,
free to be transformed. You are
mm,
free to grow. You are
mm,
free to learn. You are
mm,
free. You are free. You
mm,
are free to
mm,
Yeah.
change yourself and become how you truly want to be. If wherever you came from, what doesn't, oh, that image doesn't fit anymore. This is me.
mm,
But you cannot lose yourself. Because if you've
mm.
lost yourself, as Rijeko said, we are now empty.
You're not empty.
You are no
Mm.
longer there.
And
You're
I
absent.
want to quickly come back,
Yes.
Bridget, before you
Mm.
round off.
Yes.
Um, you asked me, can one have both,
Yeah.
right? The belonging and the identity. And I want to leave with these positive remarks to people and say, absolutely yes. Absolutely.
Yeah.
You were made for both. You were
Mm.
made to belong and you were made to have an identity. God never said choose one
Mm.
or the other.
Mm.
No,
Mm. Mm.
you are God's masterpiece and
Mm.
you are created for good works.
Beautiful.
I'm sorry, but I'm just going to go into the Bible. There's a
Go ahead.
quote that we have in the Bible that says, you belong to a chosen people, a royal priesthood. Belonging to God is the anchor. It's the anchor. When you secure yourself in Him, you don't have to contort to try and to fit in. You don't have to do that. The right place won't ask you to betray yourself. If you find yourself in a place or a space where you are constantly, what's that word, compromising,
Mm-hmm.
you haven't found the right place yet.
Mm.
Mm.
You know what? Let's talk about identity. Uh, I like it when Sandra, you talked about, you were right that you can actually be in a place where you belong without losing your identity. What does Paul say in the Bible? I have become all things to all people, but I do not become like them.
Mm-hmm.
Mm.
W-
In
Cannot.
other words, I'm adaptable,
Yeah.
I'm
Yeah.
but
adaptable.
Can
Mhm.
I just add quickly, Reject? I would
Yeah.
say that just to resume everything that you said, knowledge
Mm.
is power. The more knowledgeable
Amen.
you are, the more
True.
you know, you will find
True.
yourself and you are more powerful.
True.
Mhm.
Amen. True.
Learning, absolutely. That's
Growth.
learning.
That's
Yes, and
growth. We
growth.
talked about
Hey,
Well,
growth.
yeah.
knowledge equals learning. Learning equals growth.
Yeah.
Beautiful. Go on, finish, Rijeka. Go on. We
What
don't
I
want
want
to.
to say, I wanted to say, in the right space, you want to be you. You want to be celebrated as yourself,
Mm,
not a version of who you are. Oh,
Mm,
that's deep.
beautiful.
That's deep.
Beautiful.
yeah.
That's deep.
Beautiful. Beautiful. Is there more
Mm.
to that, or yeah, we're done?
I've got so much to say.
So we are going to compartmentalize. We are coming again, as
I've
you said,
got so
Rijeko, with
much to
more.
say.
We've got other topics: therapy. How do we do this? Adapting in a healthy way. How do we do? We are coming back with more. But thank you so much for joining us today, ladies. This was a rich experience.
Yeah,
Absolutely rich. We've
that's
we've
wonderful.
understood. Say that
Yeah.
again. Sorry, Sandra.
I said it was wonderful.
Absolutely. I
Yeah.
loved it. Enjoy it. We've talked about difference. We've talked about the core non-negotiables, your vision of who you are. That's identity, your values, your self-expression, which is voice. And we've talked about adaptability, how we can become a part of something without losing ourselves, how we can belong without losing ourselves. And we've only touched on that, ladies and gentlemen. We are going to be back with more. But for today, this is where we get to end. I hope that this has inspired, this has encouraged, and also whet your appetite for more, because we will definitely be back with more. So look out in the next couple of, our next session is in a couple of weeks' time, same day here. And for me, Bridget, in the UK, I wish you all a very, very happy weekend. And yes, keep learning, keep growing. That's the way to do it. Thank you, ladies, for joining me. Bye bye for now.
Bye.